Hey guys, just working on a tune that will be on my upcoming solo guitar album, and I will provide links for that eventually, but enough about that. My name is Coffee Freelancer, here bringing you strategies, motivation, and information for your freelancing journey. And my name's Chris. I've been working the gig economy with Shipt, Amazon, and DoorDash for about a year and a half now. I've been a eBay, Facebook Marketplace reseller for about 6 months approximately, going on a year, and then I've been here on YouTube for about 3 months. And in addition, I'm also working on getting a real estate license to sell houses, and I'm a lifelong student of psychology. I do have a science degree, but I've also studied psychology. And that brings me to my subject today, which is the psychology of frugality. And I'm going to just go into a little bit what it means to be frugal and how you should look to spend your money and some of the impulse that goes along with that. At any rate, enjoy, guys. See you in a minute. What are we talking about today? The psychology of frugality. And what is that exactly? Well, the Oxford Dictionary defines it as the quality of being economical with money and food. And that's a very basic definition. Also, if you look up dictionary.com, we have synonyms for frugal as thrifty and penny pinching. So, what I would say, to boil this down, is basically it's just knowing when to spend your money and when to save your money. Probably spending it on things that are unnecessary, that don't really improve your quality of life, or they're not going to be used. Probably unnecessary. Something like the difference between buying a brand new fancy car and an old car. And you certainly don't want, your financial life to look like this. So I'll narrow this down to 2 points for the sake of a short video. The psychology of being frugal or saving money basically comes down to instant gratification versus delayed gratification. Something that you do not need right this moment, you should probably discipline yourself to wait for to get later. So I know you need that new video game system, or that new car, or a nicer house than you already have, or a nicer television than you already have. But do you really need that right this very second? I would say that you don't. You should save until you have the ability to pay that in cash. And you don't want to go into your emergency fund to spend that, because your emergency fund is exactly that, your emergency fund. And at any rate, number 2, I would say knowing when to be cheap and when to spend a little more. Like, something I won't skimp on is shoes, because shoes that are cheap that you buy at Walmart will wear out in months. But more expensive shoes that you get, the more name brand shoes, they're going to last you a year or two or longer, depending on how you treat them. So that's something not to skimp on. Food, you can eat very healthy by buying just a cheap amount of groceries every week and cooking at home, and save hundreds of dollars in a month. And you can still do it healthily. You do not have to buy expensive food to be healthy, contrary to popular belief. Now, there are some things, some food items that you don't want to skimp on because of the quality, but there are other things really doesn't matter as much. And lastly, I'm just going to say, for further reading, if you would like to study more about this, and I will have more psychology videos to come, being that I'm a student of the subject. And I'm also expanding this channel into that realm. But for further reading, check out Psychology Today's article, A Frugal Man's Guide to Happiness and Health. And a guy who's in his 70s talks about how many amazing things he was able to do in his life because he stayed frugal his entire life and always made it a point to save money, and where it was pertinent not to, be to show off and try to be ghetto fabulous is what I call it. People who have all these fancy things but really they don't have any money, and it's because they don't save. And that's fine if you want to live that way, but these are just tips to try to get you so that you don't live that way. But you certainly don't want your business life and your financial life to be this way either.
Or lack of flair, because I'm counting and I only see 15 pieces. Let me ask you a question, Joanna. What do you think of a person who only does the bare minimum?
What do I think? You know what, Stan? If you want me to wear 37 pieces of flair like your pretty boy over there, Brian, why don't you just make the minimum 37 pieces of flair?
Well, I thought I remembered you saying that you wanted to express yourself.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I do. I do want to express myself. Okay?
That's all I have for you guys today. Keep on drinking that coffee. And keep on freelancing. I will see you later.